Hello there and welcome to Artist Endeavour, the channel where I endeavour to make you a great artist. Okay, so in this video I will be teaching you how to draw a nose. So I'll be teaching you from 3 different angles, like with the eyes in the previous video: the front view, the side view and the 3/4 view. Okay, so for the front view, again you start with the circle, like in most things with drawing. So this circle I'm drawing will be roughly the tip of the nose. So just making sure I'm getting the circle accurate. Okay, so once that's completed, draw a line going down the center from the bottom up, and you want the line to go past the edge of the circle as high up as you want the length of the nose to be. So now I'm drawing a curved line along the bottom there on one side and the other. Now where the circle meets with the edges of the lines, you connect together. So the very bottom of the circle where the center line is situated, the curved part of that circle is part of the actual nose. So make sure the lines flow and make sure the lines are connected. So I'm just flipping the image there just to stop the image from being skewed. Now you want the edge of the nostril, the whole area, to be slightly past the edge of the circle. Once you've completed that, then just draw the side of the nose. Good start off point is drawing the edge from the side of the circle there. So as you can see, it's originating from the top corner of the circle, and then you just draw a kind of curved shape, a bit like half of a bell shape. Doesn't have to be a perfect shape, since noses can be a variety of different shapes. So once you're happy with the side of the nose, then you can start drawing the bridge of the nose. Draw lightly here just to make sure you're happy with this shape. The good thing about noses is that there's no one right shape. As long as the shape is similar to the general overall shape of a nose, then all that matters is the placement of each section. I highly recommend that you get references on understanding the nose shape and working from there while watching this tutorial and learning the overall placement of each part of the nose. So I think I've made the length of the nose a bit too long, so I'm just going to shorten the bridge. So I'm just copying the top part of the nose that I originally drew and placing it a bit lower down on the bridge there. Just getting rid of the original lines now that I have corrected the top part of the nose. Okay, so with the basic outline shape done, now I want to draw a very faint line going across the bottom of the nose. So it denotes the upper and lower facing parts. So anything below the line is generally pointing downwards. Anything above the line is facing upwards or straight ahead. So I've just added a couple little curved lines there just to articulate the rounded shape of the point of the nose there. Okay, so that's basically the overall line detail for the nose that's needed. So just get rid of the guidelines, and now I'm just fading the line out on the side of the nose on each side, because that's where there's less definition for the nose. The nose merges with the cheeks in that area generally. There's less of a ridge in those areas. So in this tutorial I decided to do toning, to actually show you basic toning and showing how toning can create a realistic shape, in this example for the nose. I think it's needed because the line art in itself doesn't really show enough information for my liking. Just quickly do a bit of shading in grayscale, so no colour, just so you can see the shadows, light sources and midtones. As you can see, I'm just dabbing bits of shade here and there. The spotted brush I'm using there is a speckled brush, and I'm just using it on the smudge tool in Photoshop, so I'm not actually painting with this brush currently. All I'm doing is just smearing the existing tone, the existing paint I've used for shading. So I'm just literally just smearing, moving over the tone already placed. Now, as you can see, I'm smearing the tone across the sides there, out of the outline where the line is faded, to demonstrate the smooth gradient you'd get with a nose at that area, toward the cheek area there. Now I'm just placing some darker tone, try and emphasize a bit more shadow. Okay, this is just so you can get a better picture of the nose form. I won't be shading in each example, each different viewpoint, just in this one and perhaps the next one. Yeah, I think that's about it, I think. So, yep, as you can see, it looks a fairly decent nose. Let's do some toning just underneath the nostril there. So it looks like it's attached to the face a bit. Okay, as I said about the shape not needing to be perfect, because there is a fair degree of variation in each part of the nose. So that's a good thing about drawing noses. They don't have to be perfect. So even if you unintentionally create an error in the shape, it can still look realistic because there's so much variation to each part of the nose. So to demonstrate this, I've drawn another nose shape that's slightly different shape there, just to show you an example of a different variation of a nose. As long as the placement is fine and the shape isn't too crazy, then you'll have a realistic looking nose. Okay, let's just get rid of some of these guidelines. So as you can see with the left nose is the one I didn't draw in the first example. The right one is the one I drew with the shading. As you can see, the left one with the line art alone, you can tell the nose is pointing upwards and that there's not much of a nose ridge on the nose bridge. Okay, so now I'm going to be drawing the side of the nose now. So to make a start, you draw the circle again. So the circle is the same point of the nose how it was in the front view, but it's going to be at obviously a side view angle. But because it's a circle, it's still the same proportion as it was in the front view. So I'm going to be making the nose pointing to the right here. The circle at the moment is the tip, and now I'm just drawing the bridge of the nose, just a rough outline. Now draw a straight line down from the left side of the circle, and that's just a guideline for where the upper lip and the upper skin where it attaches to the nose goes. So it could be either way really, either left or right of the line. So now I've opted to go to the right side of the line, and it doesn't have to be perfect because different people have different depths of where their jaw and where their lips actually go. So that's okay at the moment. Maybe it needed to go a bit closer to the line, I think. But no, that's good enough, I think. So now the skin of the nostril, if you just do it past the line, where it bends back, and the whole area of the nostril where you can see curves upwards, pointing towards the front of the nose there. So that's where the hole is, roughly. And that's basically it for the side view of the detail. So I'm going to be doing some toning on this, just as I did with the first viewpoint, just so you can see the form and see roughly where the shadows and the light goes. So I'm just adding some very faint highlights there. So that's generally okay, that's looking okay. So that just gives you an idea of the general form. Now I'll just take away the toning. Okay, so that's the outline of the nose I just drew. So as I mentioned before, there's a lot of variation in the shape of the nose. So looking at this shape now, I'll show you a couple of other shapes which are all realistic depictions of noses. So you don't have to be too accurate if you're just looking for a realistic nose, but if you want a specific shape of a nose, then by all means use references and take your time to make sure you get the shape that you want. So that's another nose where the bridge, you can get noses where the bridge is more higher and a bit more bent, so you can get a kind of aristocratic conch there. And you can also get the opposite where the bridge goes inwards. I think females mostly have this type of nose. Also the tip points upwards a bit. And there's all three examples there. The shape seems to bend in one direction as you go along there. So there's just three examples, but they're by no means the limits. They're just examples within a great degree of variation noses can become. If you look at the tip points downwards and then gradually goes up from left to right, and the bridge goes outwards and then goes inwards from left to right. But really each part of the nose can exist pretty much anywhere, to any shape really. Okay, so now I'll be drawing the nose at the 3/4 angle. So instead of drawing the head again as I did with the eye tutorial in my previous video, I will reuse the head that I used and add another facial feature to the diagram. So I would be placing the nose at the 3/4 angle. Okay, so I'll just start with the nose line, which is a guideline for the nose, so it tells me where the nose will be situated. Okay, so again, I'll start with the circle. Now, what I'm doing now is deliberately placing the circle bang in the middle of the line. Now, this isn't the placement, but I want to do this as an example. So because of the angle, you will not see the tip of the nose where the center line is in the middle of the circle. You will only get that if you're looking at the face at the frontal view. But because of the angle, you have to take into account the perspective. So the circle really would be more to the left. So the line doesn't go down the center, but it goes more on the right side of the circle. And that's purely because of the viewpoint we're looking at, because of the perspective. The front top line, which you saw in the side view, it'll be drawn again at the 3/4 angle, so you can see the very front of the nose, a little dash that I've made there. I think I'll nudge it over a little bit more, I think. Otherwise the nose might be a bit too flat. That looks about right now. So now what I'm going to do is link up the front of the nose and turn that in the front of the bridge of the nose. I think I'll move over a little bit more. So just take your time. There's going to be a bit of trial and error. If something doesn't look right, then just change it a little bit. Let's just smooth the line up a bit. Okay, so that'll be the front view of the nose there. And as you can see, there's still a little bit to the left of the circle, and you want to keep that because that's the other side of the nose. So now I'm drawing the right side, the right nostril, the flesh on the outside there. So it won't be in line with the actual circle, because remember the actual circle is the main rounded point. So let's get rid of that now. I don't want to get rid of it completely, so I can still use a little bit of the circle as the round shape of the tip of the nose there. So I just do a line at the bottom leading to the mouth, the philtrum. The circle that's already there on the left side, that's roughly going to be used for the left nostril there. From this angle you would see both nostrils just about just refine the shape a little bit. Just getting rid of the bottom part of the circle. Let's get with these guidelines. Now you can see the nostril area a bit. Remember that the nostril line doesn't link up with the rest of the nose, it's an independent line. Okay, so that looks okay, that looks pretty good. So that's basically a basic angle of a nose, 3/4 angle. Let's rub out some of these guidelines. So I don't want to keep them there because they're obscuring the nose a bit. I don't want to get rid of them all, so just up to where the nose is. That's the nose in perspective with the rest of the face and the eye. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Of course it would look better with toning, but I'm not going to be doing any toning on this example. Okay, so that's the conclusion to this video. That's how you draw a basic nose. So you would agree that it's drawing the nose is far easier than drawing the eye once you understand the basic shapes. So as long as you've got the three main features, the bridge of the nose, the tip, and the nostril areas, then you pretty much can't go far wrong because there's quite a degree of shape variation between noses. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. Make sure you give the thumbs up if you like the video, and feel free to subscribe if you want to see more videos. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.